Yeah.
But I just sit here and think like one of the first things they do when you get admitted to the hospital, they hook you up to the oxygen tank because they increase the oxygen flow throughout the body because oxygen is going to help carry everything you need to heal.
Mm-hmm.
Without adequate oxygen flow, you probably won't heal correctly. And that's the same thing that goes for somebody that's sitting in a cubicle all day at the desk. Oxygen flow is weak, and plus they're getting oxygen from inside. It's not naturally outside, so yeah, they're probably not. I don't question that their back would hurt.
Yeah, because that was some of the symptoms that I'm seeing too. That you find a lot of people that are complaining about the same thing. It's the lower
Mm-hmm.
back, or maybe the upper shoulder towards the neck, because they tend to kind of the posture of bending over, and like I
Well,
said with the.
their glutes got weak because the glute muscles are like some of the largest muscles in the body. But like I said before, they're some of the weakest muscles in the body for a lot of people. So why is the largest muscle the weakest muscle? If the largest muscle is there, it's supposed to be the strongest muscle or one of the strongest muscles.
Hmm.
And when that large muscle is weak, everything around it is going to get weak. You think about like the hips is basically the center of the body. That's where the top half and bottom half meet.
Mm-hmm.
And in that center, if you don't have a strong center foundation, it's gonna start messing up. So you got to keep the glutes strong, and when the glutes are strong, it keeps the back stable
Okay.
and the hips mobile. So
Hmm.
like heavier deadlifts and squats again. I've been focusing more on strengthening my glutes, and that's something Leroy told me. I don't know, he jokes around a lot, works his glutes a lot because that's gonna help. He didn't know why, but he said it helps him feel stronger. But the reason why it helps you feel stronger is because it protects everything around it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything around it is vital for your posture and for your health. So the large muscles got to stay strong, and that's the reason why you know your legs have larger muscles because that's your transportation. That's your wheels. That's how
Mm.
you get around.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't walk on our hands, so the upper body is going to be smaller. So lower body muscles, if your lower body muscles are weak, but they're the largest muscles, larger muscles are supposed to be stronger muscles.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, and just because we don't adequately farm and stuff like that anymore, so
Yes.
we have to get out and do real exercise. Oh no, 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 no.
What type of exercise?
Um, like hip thrusts
Mm-hmm.
off the couch, glute bridge holds, basically the top of the hip thrust. You can find those mini bands and put them around your knees. They sell
Mm-hmm.
them like you can find them like at Ross, and like in the little fitness section they have.
Mm-hmm.
You can find those bands anywhere and just put them around your knees and do like what we call clams. You can lie on your side. There's a bunch of different hip and glute exercises you can do, but it works. It works. I talked to some people at the gym. One guy was complaining about his knee.
Mm-hmm.
He said he'd been plagued by knee pain. Well, this is kind of opposite. I was telling him, it's more so coming from your ankle because you're compensating. I didn't even know the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Never. I seen him walk around the gym. He came up to me in the locker and was like, "Hey man, maybe you can help me out with something. I've been suffering from bad knee pain." And he told me about it. And just 2 days ago, that was like 3 weeks ago. And 2 days ago, he told me he's been doing the stuff that I told him. He said it's working. His
Mm.
knee pain is going away, but he wasn't. He was focusing too much on the knee and
Mm-hmm.
what was going on around the knee instead of the real reason why the knee was off in the first place. I said you got to start from the ground up. So I said your ankle is tight, but if you want a speedy recovery, don't. You can work on ankle mobility, but that's going to take longer. So work on strengthening your calf muscle and lengthening your calf muscle.
And that will
And that's
help.
going to help. Yeah, that's going to help free up the ankle. And when the ankle is able to free up a little bit more, now
Mm-hmm.
your knee can actually do its real job of stabilizing. And so you've been feeling better.
Wow.
Yeah, people that you know. Um, so when they see stuff like that, it's a community thing. One person probably wouldn't have showed up if the other one didn't go. This I'll go if you go. But
Mm-hmm.
okay, and that's how it works, like a chain reaction. There's a few spot people that would do it without anybody else, but a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people won't. But it's just like the community aspect, the accountability behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Because now instead of disappointing the trainer by not showing up, you're disappointing the trainer or the coach. You're disappointing your friends. So it's more accountable in a group, I think.
Mhm.
A close knit group. But the reason why I say no is because with everything given, there's something that has to be taken away. Um, with the fact that technology has done a lot of great things. It shrunk the world, and now we can get information at 0.2 seconds. We can get news from across the world in 5 seconds, if that.
Mhm. Correct.
So a lot of information is out there, but interpersonal communication, face-to-face communication, has dropped for this new generation. Common sense has dropped for the new generation. I talk to these kids. I'm like, why do you feel like you're failing? Well, I just don't know what to do. I was like, you have all the information in the world just
Mhm.
about in the palm of your hand in that cell phone, but you're using that cell phone for Instagram likes instead of knowledge.
Mhm.
That's common sense. You have all the answers. Nobody should have a zero homework grade.
Mhm.
At least you
I
should be
agree with that.
100% on your homework because they have websites that will show you how to do the work
Mhm.
for you. And you just copy everything down. So I'm like, common sense has definitely decreased. Interpersonal communication has decreased. Kids don't even look in your eye when they talk to you anymore. There's some outliers depending
Yep.
on their parents, but for the most part, they're stuck on the screen. And also, they become way more impatient. Each generation is becoming
Mhm.
impatient
That's
because
true.
everything is faster now. You press a button, I could watch 12 shows at a time. Back when we were kids, if we didn't make if we didn't make it to the TV by 6 p.m., we missed the show. We missed The Simpsons.
That's right.
That was it. And you had to go to school the next day or next week and hear people talk about it. But now, a kid misses it, they can just press rewind.
Mhm.
And so everything's at the palm of their hands, a touch of their fingers. So they became way more impatient. They don't know what it's like to look up an atlas or go in an encyclopedia or having to
Mhm.
look in a dictionary when they can just type in a word and Google pulls up the definition in 5 seconds rather than taking 2 minutes to look through a book.
Yep.
So yes, that's why I don't think we've really progressed as a humanity. I feel like it's like a hamster wheel.
That's right.
We're kind of like running in place. That technology is great, but look at what technology is doing to people's health.
That's
Also,
right. Mhm.
technology has enhanced health, but it also decreased health because now people are stagnant. They don't move around as much.
That's right.
Walmart, you go pick up your food, you don't have to farm for anything anymore.
Mhm.
So yes, it made things more convenient, but it also made people less healthy,
Yeah, and
mentally and physically.
the younger generation is the one that's really gonna pay for all this because now that they don't see it now,
Mm-mm.
but later on with like you said, their health, um, mobility,
Yeah,
and even what they know because they took it for granted. When they could have learned something, they was tuned into all these other avenues of entertainment.
and they're also desensitized too. Like each generation is becoming more desensitized to the things that should matter.
That's
They're
right.
showing death on TV easy, like real death.
Mhm.
This ain't no like these aren't movies or TV shows. They're showing people getting shot by police on camera on TV. When I was growing up, they didn't show that stuff.
Yeah, and it was a shocker to
And
see it.
yeah, when he saw it, I felt when I remember the first time I seen somebody get shot on TV. I think I was in high school. They're showing us one of those war movies, like documentaries
Mhm.
of what was going on in China. Somebody put out a gun, shot the dude in the head. I jumped. I was like, did I just see that?
Mhm.
But now Lena's talking about, George Floyd. She watched him getting choked out, watched people getting shot,
Mhm.
and it's like she didn't even blink an eye. I was like, dang, my own daughter didn't even blink an eye to death.
Mhm. It's entertainment
Yeah,
because it's so.
that shouldn't be regular,
Mhm.
but it's regular to these
Mhm.
kids now.
Because of media.
Homosexuality, all that's regular to these kids.
Mhm.
They're becoming so desensitized to all these things, and it's sad. So yeah, that's what I was explaining about my boy Keith. I was like, yeah, we progress in a lot of different areas, but we're running in place as humanity
Mhm.
because when something's given, something has to be taken away. That's just
Mhm.
how things work. It's give and take, and
Mhm.
we're sacrificing a lot of our morals.
Yeah, in the midst
Uh,
of it.
we're sacrificing the I guess the foundational things of humanity, and that's interpersonal communication, bonding, touch. Now we can't touch each other now,
Mhm.
you
That's
know.
true.
So it's like, so where's that energy going to be exchanged?
Mhm.
Through plastic, through glass, through touch phones. So yeah, I think we're running in place since the beginning of time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see
So
it.
think about the things that's going to be taken away.
But you know
But we
what?
take it
You find that in these days, people are not worried about what's taken away.
exactly. Yeah, they never are until it's too late, right? You don't know what
Mm-hmm.
you lost. You don't know what you lost till it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Just like COVID, when everybody got put inside the house, said you all got to stay there. You know what we had until it was gone. Somebody tell you can't go outside. House outside closed. Like now, people want to get outside and get
Mm-hmm.
active. So it's like, oh yeah, no, I guess that's it. We just that's humanity. That's ignorance. That's humanity. We don't really. I'm not saying everybody, but for the most part, I don't think people really appreciate the flowers while they're still here.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
More of like a Whole Food style place or more farmers markets, and now they have access to that. And it goes beyond food, but now they have access to theaters. Now they have access to art and stuff like that. So that's how you start changing your world, changing your environment and change the environment of others around you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we improve. Because nobody's going to do it for you. They can hand you stuff, but now it's just hand-me-downs. Now you're going to be expecting somebody to do it for you.
Mm-hmm. All the
Like,
time.
give us this, give us that. No, you take it. You make it happen.
That's true.
If the people come together and actually make it happen in their own communities, what power does the government have? They have none. What good is a leader that nobody listens to? They're not a leader.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. Like we have to start in our own places. I understand all that marching and stuff is cool. I'm not going out there. It's too hot. We've been marching for years.
Mm-hmm.
Not too much has been done. It's just been televised. And it made a little noise. But now where's that stuff at now? People are back to doing what they're doing, living their lives, concerned about their job, bills, and stuff like that. This is like a continuous cycle.
Yep.
So how do we fix this? What we've been doing with marching, yeah, that got attention. All right, so now let's start in our communities. Let's fix us first. Let's fix our identity crisis first. And we don't. I mean, most of us don't even know who we are.
That's true.
So how can you want something that you don't? I mean, you don't even know what to do with it. So fix yourself first. First, teach teach farming. Teach good health, reading, writing. Teach financial literacy. So that way, if they do give us some money, you know to do it. You're not just blowing it.
That is true.
So we have to start at home first. Even this entire country, look at our entire country trying to help out other countries. And we're $1 trillion in debt. We're all beat up with COVID and stuff. But we're out there helping other countries. Do what? For what? Fix home first.
That's what I always say.
That comes all the way down to each individual in this country. Fix your home first.
In the home front.
Yes, fix your home first. You're in the home front. And stop trying to do too much outside of that. Because I guarantee if you fix your home first, your world will be better.